Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl Stephanie, aka the Limitless Babe, reminding you today and every day that you are limitless. So today I want to talk about a blah, 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 blah. I want to talk about a topic that may be taboo for some of you guys. And if it is, I completely understand. That topic is God. Now, remember, if you follow me for a while, you know that I encourage you when I use the word God anytime to substitute it with whatever makes you feel comfortable. That can be universe, source, Buddha, Allah, whatever it is that you follow, because I'm a firm believer that it's not about the denomination that you follow or the practice that you follow. It's about the universal being. Okay. I think it's all the same thing, just we call it different things. And that's where the challenges and the conflicts come. But I'm not here to debate any of that. Okay. The topic is, in my terminology, about God. Now, I recognize that this topic might be uncomfortable for some, and I may lose some of you on that. So, what I'm going to say really quick is if this ain't your jam, I respect that. I love you. Thank you for coming. If you don't want to stay, you don't have to. Check me out on the next one. Maybe that will be a better topic for you. But if there's even the smallest piece of you that thinks, let me hear what she has to say, I encourage you. I welcome you. I invite you in. I say, hey, let's have a conversation. Let's have an open dialogue about this, right? Because that's just it. So many people are black and white mentality. So many people think, well, it's my way or the highway. And so many people think that, oh, the way I think has to be the way everyone else thinks. And the reality is that that's not reality. Okay? We're all individual human beings with free will, with our own minds, with different ways of growing up, with different limiting beliefs and different internal stories, with all the different things, right? So it doesn't harm us to be open and listen to someone else because maybe at the end of this, you don't agree with me. And maybe at the end of this, you think, she's full of crap. And maybe that's okay. But maybe just the fact that you were open enough to listen shows something about you and your growth because you don't have to agree with me. But I think it's important to understand in today's world, none of us have to agree with anybody, but we should all do our best to try to respect each other, to try to come with compassion and love, right? I mean, that's what I think. If you guys hear any stuffiness in me, just know, be mindful, be aware that I am battling a cold and I'm doing my best. But unfortunately, the inspiration hit me for like a bunch of videos right now when like I'm all stuffy. Who knows? Maybe that was my clarity. So just bear with me. If I have to pause, I will. I don't want to blow my nose in your face because that's gross, but you may hear a little bit of yuckiness coming from all different places. So I'm sorry. Okay, I'll do my best. So anyway, let's get back on topic. God. So, why do I want to talk about this? I think that there are so many people out there that don't believe in God or source or whatever you want to call it because they go through or they have been through unfair things in life, right? Bad things in life, things that we would perceive as bad, right? But here's what I want to tell you. Think about, well, let me take it back a little bit. Hold on. There are some people that get upset because they feel like, well, God doesn't exist because he didn't answer my prayer. Did he not answer your prayer? Maybe he did. And maybe the answer was no. And maybe you didn't like that. And maybe that's okay. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't exist. That doesn't mean that, there's no supreme being guiding us and trying to get us to go down the right path. That doesn't mean that none of that exists just because you gotta know. Think about that for a second. Let's say theoretically, you're a little kid, right? And you want to play with the stove. And your mom comes in and she says, no, don't do that. Since your mom said no, does that mean she don't exist? No. Does that make her a bad parent for saying no? Did she say no to keep you safe? Did she say no because it was in your best interest? Did she say no because in the long run, that was going to benefit you? And maybe you don't see it right now. So is it at all possible that God is just a really good parent that sometimes has to say no to keep us safe? Has to say no because it's in our best interest? Has to say no because, well, we asked. So here's the thing, yeah, we have free will, right? We get to make decisions and choices and we can alter our path and our destiny. I believe all of that, right? We can alter what's going on in our world because we are powerful. But if you're gonna pray to God and ask him for something, you're inviting him in to say yes or no. You're inviting him in to give you direction. Don't get mad when he says no. That was what was best for you. And maybe you don't see it today because maybe today you're still hurt about it. Today you still really wanted whatever it is that you asked for. But maybe, just maybe, in 5 years, 10 years, hell, even in a week, maybe in a week, you're going to realize, oh my gosh, that is why I needed him to say no. Because if that no hadn't come, this wouldn't have come into my life. Or if that no hadn't come, I wouldn't be here anymore because I would have made bad choices that would have ended things. Hold on, I gotta see. So while I was blowing my nose, I actually had a really great thought. I have a cold. Is that God's fault? Did God decide I'm gonna punish her and give her a cold? No. But is it possible that maybe God decided that I needed this cold? Yeah, it's possible. Maybe. Maybe God knew that I was going 1,000 miles a minute and I needed to slow down. And you know what? This cold has given me a couple days of the best rest that I've ever had. And what I know about myself is that when I force myself to rest or when forces me to rest, I am somehow more productive. Sometimes in life, when you are forced to slow down, it actually makes you more productive in the long run. So it's not that it's taking away, it's actually giving you more. It's just that you need the energy. You need the rest before the battle. You need the rest before you take on whatever is coming. So, yeah, even my cold, I can look at it and say, you know what? Hey, thanks. Thanks, parent, for forcing me to rest because I wasn't going to do it on my own. I appreciate that. What else can we talk about? Let's say that you experience hardship in your life, right? Okay, that stinks. Nobody wants to experience hardship, and it can feel like we're alone. It can feel like nobody's on our side. It can feel like the odds are stacked against us, and why, God, why have you forsaken me? But again, did he forsake you? Or is he using that challenge and that adversity to sharpen you, to refine you, to make you a powerhouse? Or in some cases, even to make you a testimony. Because when he brings you out of that, or when he gives you the strength to bring yourself out of that, because it all comes from him. And I apologize if you guys get offended with me even saying him. Again, substitute my words, labels, pronouns for whatever works for you. This is my story though, so I'm going to use my words. I forget where I was. Damn, I'm gonna throw away this. But is it at all possible that he's using that adversity to make it so that you really show out and you can become an inspiration and a testimony to others? Because let's be real, nobody loves a story more than the story of the underdog, right? The story of the person that was knocked down and then somehow came from ground zero all the way to the top, right? And here's the thing about coming from the bottom to the top. Think about a bow and arrow, right? A bow and arrow, you have to pull the string back. You got to pull that arrow back. The arrow doesn't just sit in the bow and project forward. No, you got to pull it back. And when you pull it back, it flies and it soars and it goes further than it could have if you would have just thrown it yourself by your hand, right? But it needed to get pulled back. You got to hit the bottom sometimes to rise up because that makes your story, your testimony, 10 times more powerful. So you can sit here and you can get angry and say, God doesn't exist. God doesn't love me. God has forsaken me. Why do these bad things happen to me? Oh, my life is a mess. Or you can turn around and shift your perspective and you can acknowledge that, maybe like a good parent, God is just steering you in the right path. steering you down the path of greatness, steering in the path of all the things that you do want. And again, think about it with your children. Even with kids, like sometimes they want things that are not good for them. Sometimes they want to play with knives. Sometimes they want to play with firecrackers. Sometimes they want to do all these things. And if we let them, bam, their hand blows off. Is that us being a good parent? No. Is that making their life better? No. Now they're down a hand. I'm just saying. And obviously, these are all just silly examples, but these things do happen. And it's important for us to honor and respect God's role as the greatest parent in our life. Everything that happens in this world, in your life, is meant to mold you, to shape you, to guide you, to teach you. And yeah, some of it sucks and some of it feels unfair, but stay the course. Because when you stay the course, you see the good. That is point one. Point two that I'm going to mix in here that I feel like I mix in a lot, but it's because it's so important. And I'll like actually tag in the description box a couple of videos about this topic is your mindset, shifting your perspective. I will tell you firsthand that when I have been able to shift my mindset from complaining, sadness, depression into gratitude, game changer. Game changer in so many ways because not only does it change my mindset, shift my mood, but it actually, believe it or not, calls in blessings. When you are grateful for what you have and for all the little things, and when you are able to see the good in all of it and everything that comes at you, more good comes, more blessings come. And this is not hibbity bibbity mumbo jumbo that I'm just spewing at you. This is things that I have tested myself. Because this is not a mindset that I'll be honest with you, this is not a mindset that I sit in 24/7. I'm not happy as pie 24/7. I'm not joyful 24/7. I'm not grateful 24/7. But I will tell you that when I catch myself in those moods where I am down and out, and I say, girl, what's different? You're not being grateful. You're not looking at the blessings. The second that I make that shift, everything changes. I'm not even kidding when I tell you that opportunities come at you. The right people come at you, and it's because you become almost like a magnetic force calling it in. Gratitude is powerful. And this is not just me talking nonsense. This is like hardcore reality. And if you don't believe me, you don't have to. But what if just maybe you let me challenge you and you try it? What if for 1 week, and if 1 week is too much, okay, don't do it for 1 week. Do it for 3 days because I've seen the shift in one day. For 3 days, make a point of writing down anything and everything good that you can perceive. And I mean everything. I mean, I woke up this morning, write it down on my phone. Um, I got the first parking spot at the supermarket, writing it down on my phone. Somebody held the door for me, write it down on my phone. Somebody else was kind to me, write it down on my phone. My kid gave me a hug today, write it down on your phone. By the end of the day, when you reflect back on all the blessings, it makes a shift. Do it for 3 days. If you want to take it up a notch, one thing that I love to do is at the end of the night, or sometimes you're too tired at night, and that's okay, but it's really powerful if you can do it that way. If you're too tired, do it first thing in the morning. Keep your list, your log of all the blessings that came. And then I want you to write a thank you letter to whoever you want. I title my letters to God, dear God, but you can write it to whoever you want. You can even write it to yourself. Whoever, because let's be real, you can say, well, it was my mindset that shifted things. That's fine. That's not egotistical. That's fine. I don't mind. Well, it's not really my place to mind, right? So, whatever, do your thing. But write a thank you letter for all the things. And I'm telling you, it does something to your soul, it does something to your heart, and most importantly, it does something to your energetic, magnetic, auric field. And it makes blessings just be 10 times magnetized to you. Now, that doesn't mean that you do this for 3 days and you're going to win the lottery, but I promise you, you're going to see an influx in positivity and good things coming your way. You're going to see an influx in people wanting to be good to you. You're going to see an influx in just random acts of kindness. And you're going to see a change and a shift in your mood as a result. So I encourage you to maybe take into consideration some of the things that I talked about today. And again, if you still feel like it's complete nonsense, I honor you. I respect you. No problem. Thank you for being here and for listening. I appreciate you because I know that that can even be hard sometimes. But I'm grateful for you being open to my perspective. And I'm sending you guys so much love. Thank you for your patience through my stuffiness. And stay limitless. I love you guys so much. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye.